Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this meditation can help for us to develop our inner clarity. So when it comes to life, it's always important that what you understand, because our life has certain way of learning. One way is from birth to sometimes our whole life we learn from our parents. Another way through the school system. And another way is culture and the environment. And fourth one is our own self-experience. So when it comes to these all four categories, it is very important for yourself that whatever the things that you learn, and it doesn't matter whatever the method that you use, it should bring a development for yourself. It should help for your spirituality to grow, to become a better person with the profitable skills. That is in conventional life. And when it comes to our spiritual development, it's mostly deeper clarity that you develop within yourself going to be the foundation. So when it comes to that, you should have the very mental quality, whatever you learn, whatever the method you use, always to see it thoroughly, deeply, vigorously, analyze that information. Because if you don't have that, remember, your spiritual development not going to happen. If you can be a believer, you can be a follower, but that doesn't mean you gain that inner development. So that's why when it comes to our own life, practicing meditation is important. Like as example, look, runners become a runner by running. Writer can be a writer by writing. Speaker can be a speaker speaking. Swimmer can be a swimmer by swimming. And whatever the sports that you play, you can become in that field a good person if you keep practice that. So like that way, when it comes to very conventional life, that whatever we keep doing help us to become. And so here with the meditation, what we develop our inner awareness by focusing. So then day by day, your clarity going to become more sharp and clear. When the mental clarity become very clear, your awareness, recognition going to become very clear. When it comes to certain level of recognition, you are capable to understand your own way. So that is what you need from the beginning. So when it comes to that, you have to have that inner freedom to see things, to analyze things. This is what we don't have. Because our own habitual patterns, our own thoughts, our own behavior, our own emotions, our own believing systems not allow us to think freely or see freely. This inner freedom is one of the important things. I will give you an example. So we're living in this computer generation, and everything most of time today go through computers. That at the same time, the programmers write different kind of programs. But out of this all, that most advanced person is the hacker. They have always, how they become so advanced? They have a different skills. They are very open-minded. And when it comes to learn hacking, they are very open-minded to see whatever the informations that arise around us, see around them. And not only that, they are capable to keep the flexibility in their mind rather than holding it to certain kind of preconditioned mental attitude. And that's why they can break down certain programs. That's how they learn, because somebody else write the program, and now this person completely from different side need to understand it and don't know how that other person did it. So then he need to be more available with a very flexible mind to change his own opinion and see from the other person point of view. That is something different. So what I'm telling you, no need to be a hacker, but what I'm telling, that the freedom that he carry in his mind is very, very different than other people. So then yourself, you can get a very example out of it. You are also kind of like a mental hacker. You're going to recognize, you understand your inner program, because it's written through the samsaric journey, through our own habitual patterns. Now it go like current. It's there already. The program is there. So if you want to neutralize it, and you have to see how you can do it. So that is where Buddha become the great scientist. There is no one going to be like the Buddha. And before the Buddha, even there were many spiritual masters, and after the Buddha, even there are many spiritual masters. But the Buddha is the one who really hacked the the deeper system. How? And there's not the hacking only that. Why the Buddha become the greatest spiritual teacher? This is the reason. So as you know, the very foundation of the Buddha's teaching is the causation, causality, cause and effect. And most of scientists nowadays follow that methods. And out of the cause and effect, you can build up things. And at the same time, you can destroy certain structures. But the thing is, you can't stop becoming. So, when it comes to Buddha, he's the one who really found out how something completely can finish. So they say that even in nowadays, you can make many kind of weapons and even you can kill the people. But there is no science. You can't stop how they're going to become. They can be, they can come back in any form. Only thing what you can do, you just can kill, that's it. But the becoming, it's going to happen. And there is no any other teachings in the world show exactly the method to completely stop this process. So we know out of the cause and effect, we learn that how things come to be as they are. We can observe, analyze, and recognize. And we can understand. And out of that, we can create things. But how things come to be as they are itself, not going to be the final destination. So once you know that, how are you going to stop it? That is the key point. So then now you have to remember to little bit go down. Now in the beginning, we settle down with our body, and then we have the awareness, one-pointness with the collective mind. And that is what we call tranquility meditation. So when you develop the tranquility meditation, it helps you to see things as it is. And then we go to vipassana. In deeply, thoroughly, when you observe your own inner experience, you recognize that what you saw things as it is, you're going to recognize how it come to be as it is. So now you see the process. And once you see the process, the very final step is how you stop it. Seeing the process doesn't mean you can do that. That is where the vipassana meditation take you more deeper into this mechanism and recognize the very core reason for this all. That very core reason is our own ignorance. And even though we carry that ignorance, and it ignites from the society with the wrong view, and that wrong view ignited by the wrong people. That is the key point. And that is why our community is very important. The friends that you associate, very important. Because if you have the people around you that with the greed, hatred, and the delusion, and by the time, maybe you also going to be like that, or maybe they're going to be like you. So it is whoever more strong character. There are, rather than saying good and bad, when it comes to the character, we can mention it as a strong and weak. So whoever the weak character slowly start to go towards the strong character. That's the very nature of our human life. Not only human life, that is the very nature of this environment. See how these tornadoes come, these clouds, the rain, wind, that everything. Always the strong, the weakness invite towards that things, the strong things towards it, weakness. So if we weak with something, remember that we don't know that whatever the other person, that if there is any strong character, that your weakness is a invitation for other person. So as example, if the pressure of air drop in this place, what will happen? That is an invitation for the wind come towards this. And then by the time it can create a tornado. So like that, you have to be very careful that whatever your weak character, maybe bring an invitation to something which you don't know and which you don't want, maybe. So the meditation is a method uplift your awareness and clarity and self-discipline. And out of that, it help you to develop your spirituality, and then you have the strong character. So then when you have a strong character, you don't invite for any other, the very weak characters, and at the same time, whoever weak around you, and it become an invitation for you. So now you develop the compassion and the wisdom, you become a person to help for them. So that is where the community of Sangha is important. So then remember yourself, the practicing that whatever that you build up the strength and abilities yourself with the good qualities or the profitable qualities, it is just not only for you. It's not going to happen like that. Because when you come to a certain level, that whatever your development itself going to become a help for other people. So then you have responsibility regarding yourself to protect from unnecessary, that any other things that no need to come towards you, and it is your responsibility to protect. And at the same time, you have opportunity when you have something to share it with others. So it is kind of like a caring and sharing both. And so development of this, day by day, bring that clarity to yourself, that ability to yourself. And then by the time you are capable to understand out of this all, and how you can get into the bottom and stop this all, rather than just maintaining. So when it comes to the world, there are two kinds of world. One is material world, another one is a spiritual world. So the very nature of this material world, physical world, survival. It, as for that survival nature, it develop a very kind of like a sustainability to maintain. That's where we look for kind of like a good place to live. We need a house, we need partners, we need children, we need money. This all gaining desires come as a result of the desire to survive. And when you want to survive, the safety is the method that you use to survive. So if you want to save something, what you do? You protect it. So to protect that, you have to be available with that. So then what does that mean? That means you sacrifice your time for that. So that itself going to be contribution yourself towards outside. So that is the very nature of this material world. There's nothing wrong with that. We have to understand that's the nature. So if you want to survive, it is just not only for a moment, and then you look for the safety, and then you get going to out of that safety, that you try to maintain things. So this very sustainability that come to us with this all the material world is just to maintain. So then remember yourself, our purpose is not that. So when it comes to a spiritual world, the very purpose of spiritual life, peace of mind, meaning of life, and development and transformation, the change and liberation. And now when you put that everything together, we can call Nibbana. So now we are in one place, struggling in a different model and trying to get into another different level of model. What is that? How from this spiritual, from this material survival mode, safety mode, you can transform you to your spiritual world to gain peace of mind or find your meaning of life or liberation. When it comes to that spiritual world, then you look for the purity. That is the base, purity. So purification of mind is the beginning of the Nibbana. And refining your thoughts and purifying your thoughts is the very method of meditation. So the purity is the spiritual nature, and the survival safety method is the material nature. So now how we can jump from this side to other side. So I'll give a method for you, and without resisting, because remember, don't try to resist anything. If you resist anything, you're not going to experience the life. Without experiencing life, you can't get the transformation. So then in the very acceptance, the welcoming that whatever situation is a kind of like a very high level of mental attitude, accepting rather than rejecting. So how we can use this material world rather than rejecting it, hate it, or rather than fight with it, how we can get the help to get into spiritual development. So start to maintain your physical material world in a spiritual way. So what is that? Another way that they explain this, or most of the philosophers explain what is spirituality. Spirituality means the way you maintain your physical and material. That is your spirituality. What does that mean? Remember, even though we get this material, this physical things, in the very beginning, there is a spiritual nature. That is what you have to catch. If you catch that, you keep that link always, and that will help you to develop your spiritual life. That is a kind of like a secret. So I'm going to give a very expensive secret today. And because once you have it, remember that wherever you go in your journey, not only this life, in the samsaric journey, it can change. So when it comes to even though this material, that this material world also depend on purity. Remember that. Look at this, this past 2 years. We went through that, this virus situation. The one of the survival mode that we took, cleaning our hands, washing hands, cleaning our body, safety precautions we took with the cleaning. Because the purity is the very survival mood, even when it comes to material things. Even you have wounded something, damaged something, before you put medicine, what you do? You have to clean it first. If the cleaning method is not good, it doesn't matter whatever the good medicine you use for that, it's not going to help. And all the beauty, the nail polish, that, when you put there's color in your nail, before you do that, you clean it. Huh? I don't know, but that is what they do, and your makeup. It doesn't matter whatever the makeup that you can't put makeup top of the makeup. No, the very important thing, cleaning. See, that's the beginning of the spiritual, that is the very purpose of the spiritual life. And this any machine, anything, if you go to wherever they assemble that place is very clean. And all these, vehicles, aeroplane, even the rocket science, the one of the important thing, everybody can't go there, the cleaning, even in the hospitals, the operation theater, everybody can't go there. The most important thing, they keep safety, with the cleaning. See, that is the beginning of life. It is not a kind of like a different knowledge. The same thing. Even this material world exists from spiritual qualities. So once you recognize that, what you should start? And start to keep clean yourself. That's going to change. Start to keep clean. It doesn't matter. You become homeless, be clean. And you may get a lot of, help from out of others. It doesn't matter how rich you are, maybe if you are not clean, what will happen sometimes? People reject you. So the be clean, keep clean yourself is very important. So physically, try to keep clean yourself. It brings the spiritual link. Why? Because the spiritual world depends on purity. Now you start with the material world. You don't do anything. Maybe you don't practice any meditation. You don't listen to any kind of Dhamma talk, or you don't follow any guru, but you keep clean. That it will help you to get into the path. And when it comes to the cloth, you don't need new cloth. We can't have new cloth every day. You need clean cloth. That is the important thing. Maybe it is very old, but if it is clean, it looks nice. See, that when it comes to the society, that is something very important. Just imagine you have to go and meet somebody. There's a brand new cloth that you brought, but it is not clean. But there is something very old, it is very clean. Which one you take? No, your clean cloth. So see, that is the beginning of spirituality. You go to a place to eat. No, if it is so dirty, sometimes if you see another place very clean, where you go? No, but some people go to that dirty place also. Anyway, because it's not for everybody. So somehow remember, the purity is the beginning of your spirituality. So keep it. So in the beginning, start with the physical. Do yourself. Be clean yourself. Mentally, maybe it is difficult. If it is difficult, start with the physical. So when it comes to this path, this Buddha's path, it's a development. If you can be a freeway, be a freeway. If you can't be a freeway, just be the surface. And if you can't be the surface, just be the neighborhood road. If you can't be the neighborhood road, just be a dirty road. If you can't be a dirty road, just be a dust somewhere else. Start from there. If you can be the Bodhi tree in the beginning, it is good. People will worship that. But if you can't be the tree like that, be a bush. If you can't be the bush, be just a little grass. Very expensive in California, green grass. Be like that grass. If you can't be a grass, be the seed. So start from that. Don't look something, start from that. Be the seed, because that is the beginning of that everything. So if you become the seed, that's good. You get the best. So like that, this spiritual world is not difficult. It is a so beautiful path if you start to walk. So then start to develop the purity with the material things. Maintain yourself, and whatever you do and wherever you go, keep it clean. And once you have that, everybody will accept you as a spiritual person. It doesn't matter who you are. Wherever you go, if you leave the place, destroying that place, make it dirt, you mess the place, and then people not going to like you. You go to a party, sometimes before you leave, if you help them to clean a little bit and you keep it nice, and it say, leave the place better than you found. And always remember, we have to let go this all one day. We can't hold anything. But when the day comes for us to leave it in a better place than you found it. Then that means you are in a journey. You pick up the secret. Not the big Dharma talk, or not a kind of like, very expensive meditation retreat, or training, or kind of like that. So you found yourself, now you use all the material world to become spiritual. And yourself, now you develop. So once you come to that, it naturally build up a self-discipline in you. So that will help you slowly get into the path. And then when it comes to the meditation, the very purpose of meditation, purify our mind. How we do that? We observe thoroughly, deeply, and then rather than go with your mind, little bit step back. So we know already we have very dirty mind. wild mind. From the samsara, we accumulated a lot of things, and these all things as a package we carry inside us, it called 5 hindrance. So how this become more strong when you feed that? That's the very nature. So how your thoughts become more strong? By thinking. Then what you need to do? If there is any greed, hatred, and the delusion, don't give chance to think. So that is where you become mindful. So then you have to see the thoughts. So to see the thoughts, that whatever you think about the past or the future, you have to get out of that. You have to see in that very moment what is happening in your mind. So that is what called present moment. So in the beginning, you bring your awareness to the present moment, and slowly, in the beginning, maybe you can't see the thoughts. That's why we get a primary mental object. So we take our inhalation, exhalation as our primary mental object. Why this inhalation, exhalation? Because it has a deeper connection with your body and mind. Your body listens to the breathing, your mind listens to the breathing. And once you get into the breathing, it will help you to gain access to the mind. So that is one reason. There are many other things when it comes to the mechanism. That is, but this is one reason. So once you have this connection with the primary mental object, you see the inhalation, exhalation as it is, and then by the time, start to see the details. Recognize the details. Just don't sit and observe, oh, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. No. See the character of the inhalation and exhalation. It is not thinking, you recognize it. When it becomes longer, you see it as a longer. When it becomes shorter, you recognize it as a shorter. So like that, thoroughly, deeply observe and get into the details. By the time, what will happen? When you slowly get into the details, you recognize that details itself has a deeper relationship with your body and mind. It's kind of like when you want to see far away sunrise, you don't go to sun. You may find a higher mountain area and you climb the mountain. When you go to the top of the mountain, you see the sun rise. So like that, your inhalation, the focusing to inhalation, exhalation is a very place that you can see the mind. So once you have that ability, when the inhalation happens, you recognize that the details that you recognize. As example, longer inhalation, the breathing itself not going to be longer or shorter. Breathing, that what you see as a long inhalation or exhalation, is the result of the condition of your mind. It's because that is where you recognize the causation. It is a reflection of the mind. As example, if you have a very busy mind, you're going to have a long inhalation and a long exhalation. It's kind of like a very messy breathing. And when you have the very calm, soft inhalation, exhalation, that means your mind so calm and relaxed. So you're focusing to the inhalation, exhalation, but it bounces back to see the mind. Recognize the very nature of the mind. And once you come to recognize that, that is where you see the thoughts, how the thoughts arise. So now you see the thoughts, and the seeker and the thoughts is two different things. Experiencer and what you experience, and the subject is the observer, and the object become the thoughts. So you see the difference, and then you observe rather than go with it. And that is where you're not going to feed for your thoughts anymore. So when you're not going to feed your thoughts, what happened through the samsaric journey, that whatever we accumulated, that all 5 hindrance, enemy not going to be strong. It's going to become weaker. Why? Because you're not going to feed for that. And by the time the observation become more stronger, your five hindrance become weaker. So little by little, when you increase the ability, in a certain level, your body, mind, the breathing start to settle down together. That is where you enter into the tranquility state. And once you have that tranquility state, we come to the point to see things as it is. So what are the things here? Things mean not that what happened outside. This is very important. Listen this very carefully. The reality means the present moment. And even it is not that, as example, that seeing this is real in the moment. You know, this all lights and the computer or your cell phone or your iPad or anything, it is real for you in the moment. But that is not, it is very conventional level. We can take it as real. But if you go a little bit more deeper, even that I see this as real, as an outside object, the very core reality is what you experience inside you. This is not reality. That is, we take it as a very conventional way to explain as the reality. But if you little bit step back and focus, and if you more open that lens yourself to see, because that this all perception happened to me, itself not going to understand by myself, it going to understand by my own inner behavior, depend on my own point of view inside. That is what your reality. Don't catch these outside things. As example, that if you are at that, whatever the condition of your mind can change this all the perception, it can twist you. If you have the greed, hatred, and the delusion, that what you see with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind can twist and change. So then, and if you have the loving kindness, generosity, compassion, wisdom in you, and it change your point of view, and out of that, whatever the perception come to you, twist, change. That is where, even though we see the same outside nature, inside we both going to be different. So that means my reality is different, your reality is different. How come? If we take the reality as this outside world, as this material, this material world, we explain, how then when we see the same environment, but how it going to be different? My reality difference and your reality difference. Because the very reality means what we experience inside us. So tuning to that and recognizing it, understanding it, and thoroughly, vigorously, deeply observe, analyze it, and turning, breaking, washing, touching, biting and rubbing. You use all the things to see what is this experience. And then that is where you recognize what is in the depth of that. In the depth of that is you have to see. When it comes to teachings, there are certain ways that we teach, especially when it comes to Vipassana. We teach you what to do, but we never teach you what to see. When you know what to do, by the time it is your own inner responsibility will find what to see. So let's give a try. Okay. So keep your back straight. Neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture, and bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopat Veva, or may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathing, breathe out, and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. Into all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribundhisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.